Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for, once again, a film that just came out, that was supposed to come out last year, but got delayed. It was supposed to come out last October, but it got delayed because of the coronavirus bullshit. And, yeah, now it's finally been released, and, I think you can tell by just me wearing the Michael Myers mask. Yes, it is called The Movie is of course for reviews for of course Halloween Kills. So it's around 10:06 p.m. at night. I just got back from the theater from seeing this movie. Yes, I saw this in the theaters. I know it's on streaming too, but I would rather go watch this in theaters the way it was meant to be watched. And I gotta say, I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah, I don't care what the reviews say. This film was worth the money. I absolutely loved every minute of it. I think I thought it was probably even better than Halloween 2018. And I think it's my second favorite Halloween movie in the franchise, behind the original 1978 movie. So let me recap this. I absolutely love the Halloween franchise. Like, the first one's probably my favorite slasher movie of all time. My second favorite John Carpenter movie, behind The Thing. The sequel, 1981 sequel, Halloween 2, is also pretty good, but kind of led to some problems that would occur in the franchise. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is not really a Michael Myers movie, but it's okay for what it is. Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, not a bad movie, but it really started to bring into the death of Halloween. Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers was just boring. Start to finish, Halloween Curse of Michael Myers was really bad. And then Halloween H20 was pretty good. Not as good as the 1978 original or the 1981 sequel, but great for what it is. And Halloween Resurrection, what the fuck was that? Like, Michael Myers getting beat up by Busta Rhymes? That's my reaction to Halloween Resurrection was this. Yeah. And then, of course, 5 years after that mess, it then got a remake from Rob Zombie, which was Rob Zombie's Halloween, 2000, which released in 2007 on Labor Day weekend. And before Shang-Chi came out, it held the record for the highest grossing opening weekend for a Labor Day movie release. Well, probably only because it was some horror movie. But my thoughts on the Rob Zombie 2007 remake, I tolerated it fine, but I did not like a lot of stuff it did. I didn't like they gave Michael Myers a backstory, tried to make him look like an anti-hero, and I didn't like the nasty, trashy vulgarity language. And I really did not like Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode. Although not as bad as 2009's. Like, you've heard me bash many times, and yes, I'm sorry, guys. I don't care if this movie has fans. I know. I'm fine if there's some subscribers that actually like this movie, but I don't like it, and it's my opinion. Then came Rob Zombie's H2 or Halloween 2, and I think that was probably, much like I gave Halloween Resurrection, this movie deserves this. Yeah, it was just worse than Halloween 2007. Just an abomination from start to finish. They made Michael Myers some growling hobo, which he's not. It was just crap. They even had him talk in the director's cut and had him yell, "Die!" Yeah, this just shows Rob knows nothing about Michael Myers, and he didn't want to even make this movie. Like, apparently this production was so disastrous. But then, of course, the franchise would pretty much died until 2018 because of that. When we got Halloween 2018, and I was pretty skeptical when I saw the trailers because I thought it would just be yet another disappointing Halloween sequel. But no, when I saw the movie, I actually surprisingly kind of enjoyed it. I mean, there's still some problems I had with it. I mean, I didn't really like that it was just called Halloween. They should have called it like Halloween Returns or Halloween 018 or even Halloween 40 years later would have been a better title. But no, they just had to call it Halloween and made people think it was a reboot. It did kind of feel like a reboot at times, but all in all, and there were some plot holes I wish could have been resolved. But however, I still enjoyed it for what it was. I saw it on theaters on Halloween night. Well worth the experience. But now comes this. Halloween Kills. And yeah, so like I said, this movie was a massive improvement from Halloween 2018. I don't care what people say. I think so. That is my opinion. Yeah, like this one resolved quite a few plot holes, and I like we got to see some bit about it. But anyway, here's the plot of the movie. So, as we all remember, the end of 2018 movie, guys. Spoilers for those who have not seen the 2018 movie. There's going to be a lot of spoilers here, so be warned. Minutes after Laurie Strode and her daughter Karen and granddaughter Allison left the masked monster Michael Myers caged and left to die burning to death in Laurie's basement, Laurie is rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, believing she finally killed her lifelong tormentor. But when Michael manages to free himself from Laurie Strode, when Laurie's trapped, thanks to the firefighters like you saw in the teaser, his initial bloodbath resumes. As Laurie fights her pain and prepares to defend herself against him, she inspires all of Haddonfield to rise up against the unstoppable monster. Strugglemen join a group of other survivors of Michael's first rampage who decide to take matters into their own hands, forming a vigilante mob that sets out to hunt Michael down once and for all. So yeah, so like I've said, I really enjoyed this one. Is it perfect? No, but it's exactly what Halloween fans would love. It also goes to places where Halloween movies haven't been before, and is interesting to study the hysteria that the town has suffered. There's even parts that were very dramatic, including one scene that kind of maybe a few scenes that maybe actually kind of cringe a bit. Overall, it's a great addition to the series, and I put it in like the top 3 of all time. We're in like Halloween movies, with Halloween 1978 being first, and originally Halloween 2 was second place, but now second place would have to be Halloween Kills. So yeah, this is number 2 above the 1981 Halloween 2, and number 4 would have to be Halloween 2018. With a title like Halloween Kills, not many would probably think of this as anything more than a gore fest to be thrown on during a Halloween party. And actually, speaking of the gore fest, if you're a fan of gore, this movie's definitely for you, because holy shit, this movie was gory, extremely wicked gory. Like I cringed at quite a few parts. Like I think it was about as violent as the Rob Zombie stuff. I mean, not as like sexual as the Rob Zombie stuff, thank God, but just as violent. Other than that, it's just kind of the same normal. Surprisingly, the rest of the adult content's just kind of like the normal other original Halloween movies, the way it should be, actually. And surprisingly, Halloween Kills is an emotionally deep story and tells it well. It's not the cheesy slasher film 1980s where the acting is hit or miss and the gore gags are notably cheap. Halloween Kills is intense, brutal, and realistic. The characters are strong, likable, and when they're vulnerable, you're scared of them. The connection to the 70s events, including here, are stunning. And even if you didn't like Halloween 2018, I think some fans might appreciate it more after watching the sequel. And I also love, like, the beginning scene kind of flashes back to 1978, where Michael had escaped after being shot a few times by Dr. Loomis, and you see where he went. And Hank, a younger version of Hank from the 2018, that cop from the 2018 film, accidentally, Michael Myers went back to his childhood home. Him and a partner found Michael, but Michael grabbed his partner, and Hank accidentally shot his partner in the neck instead. But eventually, Dr. Loomis and the rest of the cops found Michael Myers, and guess what? I actually got pretty excited when I saw the digital version of Donald Pleasance. Like, may Donald Pleasance rest in peace, guys. Like, it's good to see like Dr. Loomis for a brief cameo here, and then he basically led Michael out of that house. He was about to execute Michael, but then Hank kind of stopped the whole bullet thing. And instead Michael was just recaptured and just taken back to Smith's Grove, which led to the 2018 film start. Yeah, so that was pretty nice, because I was wondering, like, how did they recapture Michael if he had escaped at the end of Halloween 1? So I'm glad that question was finally answered. So it's the second part of the planned trilogy, so don't go expecting a fully resolved plot, since like we're still getting Halloween Ends next year. Hopefully. Anyways. This is a thrilling, emotional, suspenseful, surprisingly scary, realistic, violent second chapter. Yeah, and like I said, This movie is probably the goriest Halloween film along with RZ's H2 and the goriest in the original series. Myers is creepy as ever. Carpenter's score was super scary and filled with ambience with dread and suspense. There are some nods to the other films without giving anything away. I think one of the only few problems I had with the kills in the film is that most characters could have avoided being killed so easily. Like, anyone who tries to attack him often only engages him one at a time. People will even keep themselves inside when they know he's inside with them. The characters are even slow to respond to the cries of somebody nearby them. People who evade him won't see him going out of the way of him, and no one has ever heard of a double tap. I don't mean they would survive if they were a little more ahead of things, but I wish they were written as such as to make the kills themselves smarter as a result. Like, you have a gun, and you're defeating Michael Myers, and you don't even bother to, like, try to shoot him in the head. Well, he doesn't. Yeah, like, not one of them, actually, not one of the mob members literally tries to shoot Michael in the head. I mean, yeah, we know we're getting their sequel next year, but they could at least tried shooting him here. That was kind of the one problem I had. Some of the characters still made some pretty stupid decisions like any slasher movie. But other than that, despite that, I still really enjoyed this film. Massive improvement over the 2018 film, even though I also like the 2018 film. I would totally recommend it to any Halloween fan, but only if you're like a Michael Myers fan and you have seen most of the other films. And yeah, this is movie strictly just for Michael Myers or Halloween fans, and that's it. If you're not a Halloween Michael Myers fan, you probably won't really like this, but if you are a Michael Myers fan, give this movie a watch, and here's how I'm going to rank it. I am going to give Halloween Kills an 8.5 out of 10. And that's my review for Halloween Kills. And until Halloween Ends comes out next year, that's pretty much it for. That pretty much wraps up my whole review series for all the Halloween movies in the franchise. We finally reviewed Halloween Kills, got Halloween Kills out of the way, so yeah, and that's 3 blockbusters of this month down, and only one more to go. And that, of course, is none other than Dennis Villeneuve's Dune next week. And I'm going to see a Thursday night showing of that movie to get it out of the way, because because other than just normal Friday weekend, I kind of just want to take a break from theaters, really, and continue my Halloween horror movie review series because I've only got like 2 weeks left of it, and I want to make it very wise. So, yeah. But until then, that'll be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching. If you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.